Let's move on to news about Luigi Mangione, whose terrorism charges were dropped yesterday. We can go ahead and put E1 up on the screen. Luigi Mangione, according to the New York Post, you can see pictures of him at a court appearance Tuesday morning, of course, in the killing of CEO Brian Thompson, for trial in the killing of CEO Brian Thompson. So reading from the New York Post here, just to get the details all accurate, a judge has thrown out the top counts in Luigi Mangione's state murder case, rejecting claims that the accused killer can be charged as a terrorist, which the Post describes as, quote, a huge blow to prosecutors. In that ruling released Tuesday, Judge Gregory Caro tossed charges of murder in the first degree as an act of terrorism and murder in the second degree as a crime of terrorism against the 27-year-old Ivy League grad. The judge did keep alive Mangione's other second-degree murder charge for allegedly executing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in cold blood outside the healthcare company's investor conference on December 4th, 2024. We can put the next tear sheet up on the screen from ABC News, which goes on to say the judge's case was that the evidence presented to the grand jury was insufficient to support the terrorism charge. The quote here is, while the defendant was clearly expressing an animus towards UHC, United Healthcare, and the healthcare industry generally, it does not follow that his goal was to, quote, intimidate and coerce a civilian population. And indeed, there was no evidence presented of such a goal. That is an interesting argument, Ryan. I totally buy that there was insufficient evidence presented to the grand jury. We have no idea what evidence was actually presented to the grand jury. It does, though, seem that part of the reason Mangione's followers have supported him.
Right.
Actually, we can put the VO on the screen. Right. This is E3. You can see people celebrating the dropping of the charges outside the courthouse yesterday. That's actually why people celebrate Mangione, why the people who are in this like creepy cult of personality, Luigi cult of personality, celebrate him, is because they see it as an act of terrorism to intimidate CEOs. And so that's the argument here, is that Mangione himself doesn't see it that way.
Right, exactly. The whole reason they like him is that the killing sent shockwaves through the executive class, particularly in the insurance industry.
Right.
I guess they're saying that they couldn't find any claim directly from him that that was his intention. But common sense would say, well, what else was his intention? He wasn't even a United Health customer. So it wasn't as if he had direct personal animus toward Brian Thompson.
That's a good point.
So what was the motive?
Right.
If it wasn't that.
Right.
And whether you like him or dislike him, that was his whole thing.
Right. Right.
It seems like.
There's a manifesto.
Wasn't there? Yeah.
Yeah. Another Klippenstein news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, the guy's going to have endless charges on him.
Yeah.
Of both federal and state. So getting a few dismissed is symbolic.
Although, does it not relate to the death penalty?
Well, you can get a federal death penalty too, though.
But isn't that what the terrorism charges?
That was state level.
Oh, what? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So,
that's my understanding.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay. That makes more sense. Okay. So, the question of whether or not this was met the broader standard of terrorism, according to what was presented to the grand jury, is the distinction between whether or not the grand jury said, okay, there's evidence for this, and us armchair quarterbacks being like, well, the dude said, like, what are you talking? Like, he wasn't a UHC customer.
Yeah.
At least not that I know of. So it does seem hard to believe that's how it went down. But interesting, Ryan, to see the celebration in the midst of the week that we've had.
Yes. Probably not good timing for Luigi.
No.
Because I think a lot of people who were kind of flip or supportive of that killing are now looking at it through a different lens, saying, whoa, okay. And I think maybe it's because a lot of nobody in the media world knew Brian Thompson. That might have been part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, clearly there's still some people willing to come out and cheer him on.
Right. Right. Yes, to your point, ABC News continues. In addition to second-degree murder, Mangione will be tried in state court on 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree, 4 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the third degree, 1 count of criminal possession of a weapon in the fourth degree, and 1 count of criminal possession of a forged instrument in the second degree. So obviously all kinds of charges still sticking against Luigi Mangione. It's just this particular 2 terrorism charges that were dropped by the judge yesterday.
Right.
He's pleaded not guilty to state charges in New York and Pennsylvania and the federal charges. So to Ryan's point, those all exist. These are state charges in New York and on the terrorism count.
Right.
Hey, if you like that video, hit the like button or leave a comment below. It really helps get the show to more people.
And if you'd like to get the full show ad-free and in your inbox every morning, you can sign up at breakingpoints.com.
That's right. Get the full show, help support the future of independent media at breakingpoints.com.